Been through to get here on the club. How proud are you of what the group delivered today?
Yeah, I'm really proud, Rich, because it was a bit obviously from a club point of view. There's been a lot go into this. I can't tell you how much work has gone into it from KT and the board and everyone that's worked at our football club outside of the footy department. So to come here and then back that up for them with all the work they've done, I mean, it was really important that we put on a strong team performance and show that we're all in it as one club. And I thought that was what we did pretty well today.
Was that the bit that impresses you the most, that it was such an even performance that you got all three zones to link in so well?
Yeah, I think that's a real pleasure for a coach when you see them work as well as they did together today. And we obviously there's some obvious opportunities that we could get better at, but overall our defence, which is what we talk about the most, to hold us aside. I think the 38 points, who are pretty free-flowing, attacking sort of a side when they get going. So really pleased, and that takes the 22 that played the game to get that done.
Brad, fatherhood and footy's a good mix.
It is a good mix. Yeah, it's been a big week or two, but been loving it, mate. It's been fantastic.
Were you a bit worried about how you'd perform given you got here pretty late?
No, I felt quite good actually. Cathay Pacific got us so very, very well. Got a nice plug there.
I was in the back seats on the way.
Yeah, so they looked after us well, and I felt like once I got here, it was pretty much business as usual, really. Like the flight didn't really feel like it was too much of a burden or anything, and had a run around yesterday, and then obviously we were all able to perform today.
Brad, how much did you feel the need to do that for the football club, more so than just the football team?
Yeah, I think we talked about it before the game. The whole club has been brilliant in its innovation and in its work rate over the last, it's been a couple of years in the making really, and the way that they've put in the hard work. We knew how much this meant to them, and so we obviously went out there really trying to perform and get it done to make sure we could top off a good week.
What's made you play probably career best footy at the moment?
I don't know, mate. It's let's put it down to fatherhood, eh? It's just pretty much playing through the midfield a fair bit, and just been enjoying what I'm doing. And Kenny's been giving me plenty of opportunities through there, and really just trying to make sure that I take them when it's there.
Michael said yesterday, about Brad, that there's one bloke you don't worry about with the unusual build-up he had with his professionalism. It's this bloke. Can you just talk to that a bit? How a few players wouldn't have been able to come up as well as he did today.
Yeah, well, he probably had an easy week this week. Last week he had a baby, so this week wasn't too bad. Yeah, he just jumped on the plane. But yeah, he's a pro. Brad's as good a preparer as we've got at our football club. He's, he's on the ground, off the ground. He does everything perfect. And I knew that, we had a conversation quite a while back about him coming over a bit later. And not a problem. If Brad wants to do that, I trust Brad Ebert to do it, because I just know that as a professional athlete, he does it better than anyone.
And now that it's game over, where is the Robbie Gray discussion?
He's fine. It's quite amazing, isn't it? It just keeps coming. Robbie kicked 2-2 today, played on Stephen May, potentially one of the best key backs in the game, and that's the quality that they put on him. They acknowledge what he was. Rob's fine. Look, I'm probably sick of talking about Rob, and I know he's sick of me talking about him, so he's okay. All things being equal, travels home fine, he'll play next game.
Does he just look sore, Kenny? Is he a bit like Steve Johnson? To us, he just looks sore all the time.
You haven't watched Robbie train very often, have you? He hobbles around at the best of times. So I think that's the way he runs. When you've seen him, last 3 years, you've got to remember, he's played in the midfield, so he just blends through there and he keeps getting the ball in tight situations. And, right now, he's a pretty important player for us still.
Ken, is this a big tick for all that you had to discuss at the end of last year and redevise the program? But if you can take it, put it on the longest trip on the calendar, come out with a result like that, are you ticking a fair few boxes?
Yeah, I think as a team, we understand that we have a system that we're working to since the last season, and we've made some significant change. I keep saying that, and the boys, one of our conversations early in the pre-season was, okay, we're going to do this. Let's make sure we stick to it, whether we win or we lose. And I think right now we're getting better at it. That's the key thing. I think we're getting better at it. We still haven't mastered it, but we're getting better at it, and there's some more upside of us. But we see it, Rich. This competition is so close. It's like 5-3 is a pretty good result, really, I think. But we would have loved that to have been 6-2 and better than that if we could have. But we understand how tight it is.
Now that you've done it, would you want to do it again?
What?
This trip?
Oh yeah. We can't wait to defend the title. We're undefeated here in Shanghai. Why wouldn't we want to play here? It's great for the club, and I think the club has, the club wants to do this again. This is not just a once-off. This is more than that. This is growing our opportunities as a football club. We have people now who are part of our football club financially and all sorts of ways that make our club better. It is not just taking a Mickey Mouse game once off. This is what we want to do as a football club.
Brad, from a player's perspective, what was it actually like playing out there? I mean, obviously there was a lot of Port Adelaide supporters in the crowd.
There was, yeah.
Was it a fairly different experience from what you used to?
I think that we tried to make it as normal as we could. You know, the whole preparation was very similar, and so when we ran out, it was pretty exciting. I think, like I said before, we put so much time and effort into behind the scenes getting this ready that as players we understood that. So running out, you just felt that sense of excitement, and even walking the streets, I couldn't believe how many Port supporters we actually bumped into at the Bund and at these different sort of sites, and they're everywhere. So it was an amazing effort by the fans to be able to get across and really trying to make this our second home ground, really.
A nice moment too as well, because when they went to play the national anthem, the Port Adelaide.
Yeah, had a bit of a chuckle there. That was quite funny. I don't know whether that was deliberate or not, but it was good anyway.
Set aside the occasion and the club side of it, but where does this rank in terms of your performances, in terms of your wins this season?
I think we've been really consistent all season. That's what I do believe. Even in our losses, and I think that's the key for us. We've played a certain way every week, and we've been able to put some big scores on and win some big margins. And we've also lost a couple of close ones. I think bar the GWS last quarter, I would have thought we have played some really, really consistent, honest football for every quarter this year. And I think that's what allows you to become a better team.
Yeah, and I know every coach says every game is 4 points, but you just get a sense you have the bye, so a third of the way through your season, that's a block done. They were really keen. You had a lot riding on this. It's a big win.
Yeah, no, it's an important win because 4-4, 5-3 is a significant difference to us, and and that's what's going to make up the season. Right near the end of the season, they're going to be really important, and for us to be as ruthless and as determined as we were to hold them to 38 points, that's pretty important too, because percentage for us, it looks like you get a bit of a space and you get a bit of a gap that can help out when it gets really tight at the end.
Brad, what was the deck like?
It was in fantastic shape. Yeah, it almost. I don't know whether they did it deliberately, but it felt very much Adelaide Oval-like. The surface was in magnificent shape, and I know a lot of time and effort went into that. So, couldn't ask for anything better.
Was there anything different with the conditions? I mean, they were talking about smog and heat and all that. Did it feel any different?
Nah, not really. The heat was probably something. In Adelaide, it's starting to cool down a little bit, as you probably can tell, and so that side of it was a little bit different, but it was nothing that we sort of felt as if we can't handle this. It's too hot. It was fine out there.
Today was comparatively a pretty smoggy day in Shanghai. Did anyone both you feel it at all? Anyone that asked issues? It was fine.
No, I don't think so. I think maybe the coaches because we're old and slow. But no, the players are fine. That's what you look at that game and you look at the conditions. There's nothing wrong with playing footy here. It's, as Brad said, it's a touch warmer.
Ken, you backed in Brendan Archie and he didn't let you down, did he?
Yeah, irresistible form is irresistible form. I said that before the game. You got to play and reward people like that, and that's one of the reasons I think we're actually starting to get better as a football club. We've got people pushing up underneath, and that makes the boys who are in the team own their spot as best they possibly can. And we've got to reward people who continue to play. And Carl, I thought, played a really strong game as well. So I think when you get 45 fit players on your list, great work by our conditioning team. You got to reward people.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.